Welcome to the Soul Infused Monday Show, your show for an inspired and a meaningful week. And as usual, I will give it some time for people to join live. So if you are already watching this or if you're on the replay, take the time to take a deep breath, to become present, to remove any distractions. And I appreciate you holding space for those who are going to join. And if you are already here, leave me a comment. Say hello. Where are you watching from? Let me know if you see and hear me. And simply send some love and say hello. And I'm going to also use this time to take a nice deep breath. And I'm super excited for you to be here. So I'm going to start in just a moment. So if you're already here, and I'm live from Cyprus today, where are you guys? Today is the 250th show. Isn't that amazing? 250 episodes of Soul Infused Monday. How crazy is that? Okay, I see Norma is here from Michigan and Ellen is here from Philadelphia. Okay, great, fantastic. Okay, so I'll give it a few moments. I'm going to start and jump right in. Welcome to the Soul Infused Monday Show, your weekly show for an inspired and meaningful week. Today I am live from the island of Cyprus. As you might have followed my journey this year, I've been traveling since February on the lookout for a new home, and I am just recently arrived here in Cyprus. I haven't explored much yet. However, this journey this year has been so transformative, so challenging, so wonderful, so painful, everything, the whole spectrum. And I've learned so many lessons. So today I want to share a few with you. And the topic of today's episode is liberate your soul and live life on your own terms. What does that mean? There are some words that I want to dive, like liberate the soul, living on your own terms. It's a big topic. I'm going to only scratch the surface. And I hope that by the end of this show, you are inspired and motivated and you feel called to connect more to your soul and to go for what you really want in your life. And that might look completely different to what I'm doing or what anyone else is doing. However, there are a few things that I'm going to share with you to kind of work towards like what is actually needed in order to liberate yourself and to live life on your own terms. For me, liberation means freeing yourself of the things that are not serving you, that are conditioned, that are programmed, that are put on you from something outside of yourself. So liberation also means like the freedom to express yourself and to live on your own terms and to do the things that you really want to do and that you're meant here to do. When I talk about the soul is the part of ourselves that is not in physical form and lives in a different dimension. I talk about this a lot. I'm not going to dive too much into it. However, the soul is the higher part of you, the higher self that lives in a higher dimension. And in my experience, not only in my belief, in my own experience, it's what really comes into our body, and we are here to learn, to grow, and we can be a manifestation and a creation and a soul-infused way. That's why it's also called Soul-Infused Monday, because everything is soul-infused. For me, living a soul-infused life means that you live more from a soul's perspective than from a conditioned, programmed, automatic perspective. I hope this makes sense. Now, living on your own terms means obviously that it's your terms, your way, your desire. That can look very different. Now, I am very passionate about this because so many women and men that come to me know that they want to live more fulfilled, a more expanded, a more joyful, a more free. Freedom and liberation is a big term. Now, what does that mean to you? And in order to liberate your soul, first of all, you need to know what you want from a soul's perspective. What does your soul want? Why? What is the purpose of your soul? What is the essence of your soul? What is the truth of your soul? Now, in order to know that, you get to connect. It's not a theory, and it's not something that will just pop up out of the nowhere. And if you're not connecting and nurturing that connection and that relationship, it will be more difficult to actually follow it. So in order to really live on your own terms, to liberate your soul, to live that life that is what you desire and that is meant for you, you want to know what it is, and then therefore you got to connect. If you don't know your soul, it's difficult to live upon it. Does that make sense? So you got to peel off the layers, and you got to reach up to your soul. You got to connect to your soul so that you have the distinction, that you feel the difference between what is just conditioning, what is automatic programming, what are beliefs, and what is what your soul is saying. So in order to live by that, you want to do that first. Now, it doesn't have to be 100%. You don't have to have the path very clear. My path is not always clear, but I'm guided. And even though I don't know the steps ahead, I know just one step, or I know, oh, this is what I'm guided to do, and I follow. I follow, I follow, I trust, and I follow. Now, when you do know, even if it's a vague vision or idea, what it is that you desire and what does it look like for you to live on your own terms. Even take a moment right now. Just take a moment right now and take a deep breath and tune in and tune up. What does that mean to you to live on your own terms? What does that mean to you? How does that look like? Take a moment to tune into that. And if it's not clear to you, I would invite you after the show to sit down. Don't just go and continue whatever you've been doing. Take a moment, take a few minutes, and write down, what does it mean to you to live on your own terms? What are maybe the things that you wanted to do but you're not doing, or things that you know that you would like to express or create, but something is holding you back? Write these things down, become clear, get clarity. If you don't have clarity, it's difficult to even go that path. And once you have that clarity, it's easy to say, well, then you just go for it. Now, often you have the clarity, but something is holding you back. You don't go for it. What are the things that can hold you back? Very different things. Most likely some programming. It's beliefs that are holding you back. It's woundings from the past, triggers, fears. So there are certain things that you get to let go if you really want to live on your own terms. If you want to live on your own terms, you will sometimes go against the grain. That doesn't mean that you fight it, that you are a rebel, that you go against it. But if you want to go your own path, you cannot just go everybody else's path. So you got to create your own pathway. And that creates also fear in us because it triggers certain beliefs. I give you a few examples. If you want to feel free and if you want to liberate and live a soul-infused life on your own terms, you get to let go of what other people think of you. Take a breath. That might be challenging for many. You get to let go of what other people think of you. That doesn't mean you don't care. You can still care. But if you are worried about what other people think of you, you will not be free to do what you want because there will always be someone that might not agree with your own path. That is sometimes easier said than done. So you got to peel the layers of what's the fear underneath. Maybe it's the fear of being rejected, of being abandoned, of being judged. Whatever it is, you get to do the inner work. You get to do the work to liberate yourself. You get to let go of what other people think of you. You got to have the courage or at least the determination to do things that other people don't do. And it doesn't have to be big, scary things. I'm a little crazy. I mean, I do things that most people wouldn't do, and that's okay. And you don't have to do that. But what you want to do is consistently do small things that challenge you to be courageous. And when every time you accomplish them or you finish something that scared you, it can be a small, you will have a feeling of accomplishment, of pride. And when you are proud of yourself and you do these things consistently, small things consistently, builds confidence and builds trust in yourself. I recently, before I came to Cyprus, I was in Madeira on this island in Portugal, and I had the most incredible nature experiences. Now, the first week was super, super challenging. I actually even thought I would leave the island. Now, I'm not someone that gives up easily, and I knew I was here for a reason or there for a reason. So I stayed longer and I fell in love with that island. I had the most incredible nature experiences. Now, before I left, I went on a hike by myself, and I cannot even share the experience that I have. But I was on a hike. I went off the beaten path. That's just who I am. I'm too curious. I go off the beaten path, and it was a bit too late in the afternoon to do that. And I was crazy enough to simply go a path that I didn't know how long it would take and if I would make it in time with daylight and how that path or trail even looked like. Now, long story short, I was so high up. And it was nearly scary, but it was amazingly beautiful. Now, I kept walking. I kept walking. It was very steep. It was very slippery at times. There was 1 or 2 times that I actually got scared. And I thought, oh my gosh, what if I slip? What if something happens to me? What if I don't make it? What if they would have to rescue me? Oh, how embarrassing would that? It was just really all sorts of stuff. But my point in sharing this with you, I kept walking and I knew there was no way back. And the most important piece of the story, without taking too much time, because I was afraid that I wouldn't make it in time before it was dark, and I didn't actually. It was getting already dark, but I made it. Obviously, I'm alive, I'm here. And that experience was so invigorating because I overcame my own fear. I just kept walking. I was using my own tools to also, tell myself I can do this. And even though it was challenging and it was scary at times, and it was even challenging physically, once I was done, it was actually a 6-hour experience. I was 6 hours climbing up and hiking, and it was just nuts. Like, it was so nuts. I was sometimes thinking, oh my God, there's a fine line between being fearless and being stupid. But my point in sharing this, after that 6-hour exhausting experience, that was incredible and amazing, because the nature, the view, what I got to see, I don't even think anyone walked that path in, I don't know, it wasn't even a real trail. It was in the middle of the woods. I didn't even know if the path would lead anywhere. I just trusted and I kept walking. So after that, when I finally arrived somewhere and I saw civilization again, and I knew, okay, I'm going to make it, the best feeling was that feeling of accomplishment, that feeling of, I am so proud of myself and so invigorated by that experience. And you don't have to go on a 6-hour hike where you don't know where you're going by yourself. You get to do even little things every day or consistently that remind you how strong, how courageous, how capable you are, and that reconnects you with something that's beyond the conditioning and the programming. And when you do that consistently in small doses, and you work on letting go of what other people say, letting go of your old conditioning, and you start to shift to listening more to your own soul, and you have that trust within you, and you go for what it is that you want, and you live life on your own terms. Because if you don't live on your own terms, you live on someone else's terms. So if you feel you're not living your own life fully, think about, whose life am I living? Whose life am I living instead? Tune into that and take notes. Maybe this is a question that you want to ask yourself, or you won't wonder, whose life am I living instead? And the other thing, one other question, that you can ask yourself, in order to be connected with your soul, you get to do something every day to connect with your soul. If you don't do something every day to connect with your soul, you will not be connected with your higher self. Then you are going to be caught up in the matrix, caught up in the lower parts of your chakras, the conditioning, the fears, the beliefs, the illusion of who you think you should be. So if you don't connect every day with your higher self and with your soul, it will be very difficult to live by that. So what you really get to do is to connect, of course, daily, best case. And I'm a huge advocate of energy-based meditation that actually has those 4 flows of energy that connects you with your soul. And I have so many free meditations that you can use to support that journey. You get to let go of what other people think. You get to peel off the layers that are preventing you from speaking up your truth, living your truth, be encouraging, be relentless, be consistent, be persistent, be courageous, and get help. Get help if you need that. And the other question, I said, the one question you can ask, okay, if I don't live on my own terms, whose life am I living? And the other question you can ask yourself every day, what am I doing on a daily basis, or how can I connect and nurture my soul? What am I doing to nurture my soul? Ask the question and check, what am I doing to nurture my soul? What am I doing to connecting to my soul, to my higher self? And if you're not doing anything, then start doing it now. And if you are already doing it and you feel you can get a step deeper, it's like, okay, so what's my next step? What's my next level? There's so much more to say. And I think today, my biggest intention is to inspire you, to ignite that fire in your soul, to let yourself go beyond the outside circumstances, beyond your conditioning, beyond your fears, beyond what anybody else might say, to trust yourself, to listen to your soul, to connect to your soul, and to be brave enough to go for it. And yes, in order to do that, you will get to do the work, because you got to trust yourself. You got to feel strong and secure within yourself. And not everybody will like that. Not everybody will like you going your own path, because when you're going your own path, you are not pleasing as much. You got to stop people pleasing. That doesn't mean you don't care about people. You care about people on your own terms. You got to stop people pleasing, letting go of other people, what other people think of you, and you get to connect to your soul on a daily basis, so that you are on the path, guided by that higher strength, by that higher purpose, by that higher energy. And how you do that and what you choose to do that is absolute up to you. And I have so many free resources, so many things that you can use that can help you on your own journey. And of course, you can also work privately with me, more personally, if that's something that you feel called to. And I do have one spot open for one soul that wants to do the deeper work and to want to really expand. And if you feel that that's you and you are resonating with me and you want to work deeper with me, send me a message, because I have one spot open at the moment to call someone in. I can say so much more. And yet I'm going to kind of wrap this up, and I want to ask you a question. So tune in. What is today, this episode, what are you hearing that is landing for you? What is your biggest takeaway? What is resonating with you? Tuning right now. And I'm going to go over some of your comments. And if you have a specific question, also leave it in the comment. And if you are listening to this in a different platform and you cannot leave a comment here right now, send me a message, leave me a review. I love connecting with you, and I appreciate your reviews, your comments, your questions. Thank you so much for showing up every week, and it means the world to me. So I'm going to go over some of your comments here, and let me know, what is your biggest takeaway? What is inspiring you today? Write it down and let me know. Because when you write it down and you share it, it becomes even more powerful. And you might actually inspire someone else. So not only will you get it deeper within yourself, you might actually contribute to someone else having a deeper experience. So what is your biggest takeaway? Let me know. And I will see. And I see all your beautiful comments. Thank you so much. Thank you for the love. This is all making so much sense. Great questions, insights. Thank you. My pleasure. My pleasure. You're so welcome. I'm inspired. Wonderful. I'm resonating. Great. What is resonating with you and what is inspiring you? Be specific. Let me know. I choose to follow my path without worrying about what others think. Perfect. Yes. Being here connects me with my soul. Wonderful. Yes. Just showing up every Monday. I tell you, these Monday shows such a great opportunity to connect to like-minded people, to tap into this energy, to tap into the vortex of my field and of my tribe, because you're part of my tribe. Just showing up and to listen often simply shifts your energy. So wonderful. Just come back every single week. And another takeaway here, confirmation that I am on the path, going my own way and listening to my soul more and more. Wonderful takeaway. So happy you're here. Many blessings back to you. Before you leave today, wait a second, an important announcement, because next week on the Soul Infused Monday show, I have a special guest. So make a note, block it in your calendar. Karen Kenny will be here, and we are going to have an amazing, super relevant topic that I feel is a big, big topic for many, not only women, but also men. But we're going to talk about aging and how to gracefully age and see that as wisdom and a privilege to be older, because our society doesn't really celebrate us when we get older. So it's a very, very special episode. Make sure you join live next week with my special guest and friend, Karen Kenny. So make a note. And my last takeaway that I'm going to share with you today is the sentence question: whose life am I living instead? Such a great takeaway. Made a deep impact on me today. Fantastic. I'm so happy to hear that. Such a great question. Whose life am I living instead? Absolutely. And very last takeaway, to stop being a people pleaser and I don't care what other people think. Great. Thank you so much for being here today. I love you. I appreciate you. Have a fantastic start to your week, a wonderful rest of your day. And I'm looking forward to seeing you next time on the Soul Infused Monday show and a special guest next week. Much love. Bye for now.